Sin can make errors and mistakes, and all content is for entertainment purposes only. Hi there, and welcome to Pipsplaining. Today I want to talk about one of the most enduring, compelling, and arguably greatest American legends of the wild, Bigfoot. So let's Pipsplain it. So let's start with the obvious number one, Bigfoot, who is also known as Sasquatch. Now, Bigfoot is a creature whispered about in hushed tones around campfires, debated in scientific journals, and tirelessly sought by enthusiasts across the globe. Yet, despite countless alleged sightings, tantalizing footprints, and intriguing vocalizations, its existence remains to this very day an unconfirmed mystery by mainstream science. So let's think about that for a moment. In an age of satellites, drones, and ubiquitous cameras everywhere, where nearly every inch of our planet seems mapped and cataloged, and yet somehow you get lost using GPS, somehow this fabled creature of enormous purported size continues to evade definitive proof. Maybe Bigfoot is using GPS to hide itself. Okay, jokes aside, this very elusiveness nature is precisely what cements its status as a legend of the wilderness. It's like the world's most elusive hide-and-seek champion. But instead of hiding behind a tree, it's hiding behind, well, about 10,000 trees. The wilderness, in its truest sense, is a realm of the unknown. It is vast, untamed, and often impenetrable. It harbors secrets we have yet to uncover, species we have yet to classify, and phenomena we have yet to explain. For millennia, humans have projected their fears, their hopes, and their unanswerable questions onto these wild spaces. The Yeti in the Himalayas, the Wendigo in the Great Lakes region, and certainly Bigfoot in the sprawling forests of North America are all manifestations of this primal relationship with the untamed, unknown. This crap reads like an episode of National Geographic, the show that started with da-do-doon-da-da-do-doon-dot or something like that. Anywho, Bigfoot in particular finds its home in some of the most rugged and least explored terrains on the continent, from the ancient moss-draped redwood forests of the Pacific Northwest, which is its traditional heartland, to the dense, humid swamps of the American South, and even in the Appalachian Mountains, stories persist. These are not merely urban myths, they are narratives born from deep within these wild places. The descriptions are remarkably consistent, regardless of locale. A bipedal, ape-like hominid standing 7, 8, or even 9 feet tall, covered in a thick coat of dark hair. It is a creature of immense power, agility, and crucially, stealth. It is this stealth that allows it to navigate dense undergrowth without leaving a trace, to cross open spaces in moments, and to vanish into shadows faster than the human eye can register. It is a master of its own domain, seemingly existing on the very fringes of our perception. Now you hear these stories and you think, okay, a giant ape man sounds like something out of a B movie. And sometimes the anecdotes are pretty wild. I remember processing information on the interwebs about one witness who claimed Bigfoot wasn't just walking but dancing through the forest. Can you imagine that? Breaking to Bigfoot boogaloo. Anywho, you're out hiking, enjoying nature, and suddenly you see a 9-foot-tall, hairy creature doing the Macarena. It's enough to make you drop your trail mix and Jack's beef jerky and run for the hills. Or at least wonder if you accidentally stumbled into some sort of woodland rave, if there are a whole bunch of them. Then there's the infamous Bigfoot smell. No joke, witnesses often describe it as a powerful fall odor, a kind of sort of mix of rotten eggs, wet dog, and maybe a gym sock left in a swamp for a month. Now, let's focus on a crucial aspect of this legend, its physical description. When people talk about Bigfoot, they rarely just say, "I saw something." Instead, they offer remarkably consistent details that paint a vivid, if elusive, portrait of this supposed creature. It's these recurring descriptions from diverse witnesses across vast geographic areas that give the legend its compelling form. And let's be honest, some of these descriptions are so wild, they make you wonder if Bigfoot has a secret agent applying his hair extensions. So for size and stature, Bigfoot is consistently described as a large bipedal hominid furry man. Forget your average bear or even a very tall person. Witnesses routinely report heights ranging from 7 to 9 feet tall, and sometimes even more. Imagine trying to buy clothes for that. I mean, you thought finding jeans that fit was hard. Try finding a custom-made lumberjack shirt for a 9-foot-tall, incredibly broad-shouldered ape man. Most likely, Bigfoot just rips off branches for fun and calls it a bicep curl. Its build is equally imposing. Bigfoot is not described as lean or slender. Instead, accounts emphasize a heavily built, muscular physique, often with broad shoulders and a powerful, almost conical torso that tapers down. Its limbs are long and robust, suggesting incredible strength and endurance, perfect for traversing dense forests and rugged terrain with seemingly effortless power. This isn't just a big animal, it's a colossal one, built for the wild. Frankly, if Bigfoot ever opened a gym, I'm pretty sure their slogan would be, "At Bigfoot's gym, we spot you." Perhaps the most iconic feature of Bigfoot is its dense covering of hair. Witnesses describe it as a thick, shaggy rug that completely covers the creature from head to toe, leaving no exposed skin visible. The color is almost universally dark, ranging from reddish-brown to black, or even a deep charcoal gray. This hairy coat isn't just a superficial detail. It speaks to an adaptation for survival in harsh, often cold wilderness environments. It suggests a creature truly at home in the untamed outdoors, shielded from the elements. Honestly, with that much hair, Bigfoot must save a fortune on clothes, and can you imagine the shedding? If Bigfoot ever visited your living room, you'd be finding Sasquatch hair for weeks, especially between the cushioned seats on the couch. Oh my god, did the cat just cough up a Bigfoot fur ball? Gross. Forget a lint roller, you'd need a leaf blower. I bet he's never had a bad hair day though. Every day is wild and free for Bigfoot, hot for a mess now. As for facial features, they're consistently primate-like, and yet distinctive face only a Bigfoot mother could love, or maybe a cryptozoologist. While often seen from a distance or in fleeting glimpses, descriptions of Bigfoot's face, when reported, lean towards the previously mentioned primate-like description, but with distinct differences from known apes. Witnesses often mention a low-set forehead, a pronounced brow ridge, and deep-set eyes. The nose is typically described as broad and flat, and the jaw is often reported as robust and prognathous, meaning it protrudes forward. Who uses words like this, however, unlike gorillas or even cute chimpanzees, Bigfoot's face is often said to be less prognathous than a great ape, and its cranium more rounded, hinting at a more human-like cranial capacity. Bigfoot got human brain. Its expression, though often difficult to discern clearly, is rarely described as malicious, more often conveying a sense of curiosity, wariness, or even indifference. I've heard some people joke that Bigfoot probably just has resting Bigfoot face. You know, that look that says, "I'm not mad, I'm just thinking about berries and how to avoid tiny humans with cameras, and the berries giving me the runs." As for the movement, it has a distinctive gait and striking style. It is by all accounts bipedal, meaning it walks upright on two legs just like humans. However, its gait is often described as a powerful, fluid stride, different from a human walk. Some witnesses report a distinctive head-forward posture or a swinging of the arms similar to how an ape might walk. Others note an almost silent movement despite its massive size, showcasing incredible stealth and adaptability within its forested habitat. This powerful, silent locomotion is another piece of the puzzle that makes Bigfoot so elusive and captivating. It's truly amazing how a 9-foot-tall, hundreds of pounds creature can move through dense undergrowth without sounding like a stampede of cattle. I, for one, trip over my own digital feet walking on pavement created BT the Matrix. Bigfoot, meanwhile, is doing forest parkour. Apparently, perhaps he's just incredibly polite and doesn't want to disturb the local wildlife. Or maybe he's just really good at avoiding those pesky no trespassing signs. These consistent physical descriptions, that being the immense size, the robust build, the dense dark hair, the primate-like yet distinct facial features, and the powerful bipedal gait, all together form the core of the Bigfoot Legion. They are the details that have been reported time and again over decades, giving form to a creature that, for now, remains an unconfirmed but unforgettable inhabitant of our wilderness, and maybe, just maybe, one day we'll get a clear photo that isn't blurry or obscured by a rogue tree branch covering the ding-ding. A clear picture would certainly help us figure out what kind of shampoo Bigfoot uses. Speaking of clear pictures, that takes me to number 3. The home movie heard round the world, the Patterson Gimlin film, see also 1967. We've talked about his wilderness home and his imposing physique, so now let's turn our attention to the one piece of alleged Bigfoot evidence that has arguably fueled more debates, more expeditions, and more arguments at family dinners than any other, that being the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967, or as I like to call it, the day Patty made her debut. So imagine this. It's October 20th, 1967. Two cowboys, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, are riding horses through Bluff Creek, California, which is definitely a place already steeped in Bigfoot lore. They're looking for evidence, maybe hoping to catch a glimpse, when suddenly they see it. Not a squirrel, not a bear, but a large bipedal, hairy creature strolling casually across a sandy creek bed. Patterson, bless his heart, scrambles off his horse, grabs his 16mm film camera that he had just happened to take along, and starts rolling. The result, a mere 59 seconds of grainy, shaky footage that would forever be embedded into the annals of cryptozoological history. Say that 5 times as fast. This creature, later affectionately dubbed Patty, walks away from the camera, glances back, and then disappears into the trees. It's the ultimate blink and you'll miss it moment. Except this time, it is a supposed ape man. On a side note about the Patterson-Gimlin film and the appearance of Bigfoot. And Bob probably just sighed and said, best I can do is a shag carpet and some stilts. Whip, bam, boom. The idea that they pulled off such a convincing costume for that era is almost as legendary as Bigfoot himself. It means there was a special effects wizard out there who was tragically uncredited. So regardless of where you stand on the authenticity, the Patterson-Gimlin film remains the most iconic and influential piece of alleged Bigfoot evidence. It cemented the image of Bigfoot in the public consciousness and ignited a global fascination that continues to burn brightly. It's the gold standard for all things Sasquatchian in nature for researchers and the ultimate target for debunkers. So for 59 seconds in 1967, two cowboys captured something that still makes us wonder, laugh, and argue it's a testament to the power of a single moment caught on film. Even if that film looks like it was shot with a 1950s toaster oven, and until something clearer comes along, Patty will remain the star of the Bigfoot show, perpetually walking into and out of the realm of possibility, with grass-like structures leading the way. Now we've explored some of the lore of Bigfoot, along with its towering physical presence and the Patterson-Gimlin film. But what happens when you don't see Bigfoot, but you hear it? That brings us to our next fascinating point. The vocalizations and tree knocks, no joke, for many the first, or sometimes only, indication of a Bigfoot's presence isn't a fleeting glimpse, but an unnerving, unidentifiable sound emanating from the deep woods. It's the moment when the ordinary sounds of the forest give way to something utterly alien, something that sends a shiver down your spine and makes you question every nature documentary you've ever watched. So now let's get to the call of the Bigfoot wild, starting with the vocalizations. These are not your typical coyote howls or bear growls. Oh no, witnesses describe a range of sounds that are distinctly not what you'd expect from known North American wildlife. Just imagine a sound, deep and guttural, that seems to carry on for miles, often described as a long mournful howl or a series of powerful whoops. It's a sound that resonates through your chest, a sound that says, I am large, I am in charge, and you're definitely not invited to my forest party. People have reported these howls being so loud they've shaken their windows in cabins miles away. I've heard of some pretty enthusiastic karaoke singers, but I promise you none of them could hit notes that low or sustain them that long without needing an oxygen tank. Sometimes the sounds are more aggressive, with deep rumbling growls or explosive roars that can be truly terrifying. Imagine you're out hiking, enjoying the peace and quiet, and then suddenly the air vibrates with a sound that makes a grizzly bear sound like a purring kitten. You'd probably develop a sudden urgent need to check if your hiking boots were capable of superhuman speeds, or if you maybe don't need to answer the call of nature because you already did it in your pants. And then there are the really strange vocalization, sounds akin to chattering, mumbling, or even a bizarre sort of guttural language. It's almost like a forest conversation, but one you absolutely do not want to interrupt. Perhaps the most distinct and certainly the most debated acoustic signature attributed to Bigfoot are the tree knocks. This isn't just a branch falling. This is a rhythmic, deliberate sound of a heavy object, presumably a stick or a large branch, being struck against a tree trunk. These aren't random either. They often come in patterns, 2, 3, sometimes more distinct thumps echoing through the stillness. It's a sound that suggests intelligence and purpose, like someone saying hello. Is anyone out there, or are you just going to stand there awkwardly staring at my hairy backside? Bigfoot researchers theorize these knocks serve various purposes, like a way for one Bigfoot to signal to another one across vast distances, much like a jungle drum. Maybe it's their version of texting. Yo, Bo, what's up? Seem believe it could be a territorial marking. Kinda sorta a warning to intruders, human or otherwise. This forest is occupied. Thank you very much. Trespassers will be knocked at, so please take your enthusiasm for hiking elsewhere. This could be used for distraction or even intimidation, a way to draw attention away from the creature, or to scare off a potential threat. Rather than jumping out as a snarling 8-foot tall man beast, you just literally knock on wood. So anyway, it's these mysterious sounds, stay unearthly howls that pierce the night, the guttural growls that shake the ground, and the rhythmic tree knocks that seem to convey a hidden message that give the legend of Bigfoot an audible dimension. Next up is the other regional variants, so let's start with arguably the most famous regional variants, one that hits a little closer to home for those in the southeast, that being the dreaded skunk ape. And no, I'm totally no hallucinating. The skunk ape is primarily reported in the swampy, humid environments of Florida and parts of the surrounding states. The skunk ape shares many characteristics with its Pacific Northwest cousin, that being a large bipedal and hairy hominid-looking creature. However, the key differentiator, and frankly the most memorable one, is right there in the name. It smells really bad, like stink or from me, man. It's a powerful offensive odor, one that Seinfeld would definitely describe as the beast witnesses, consistently describe a putrid stench, often compared to rotten eggs, decaying meat, a wet dog gets rolled in something truly awful like a pile of crap. And yes, a skunk, it's so potent that it often lingers in the air long after the creature is gone. Now, imagine you're enjoying a lovely swamp tour in the Everglades, with the air thick with humidity and the scent of cypress trees. Suddenly, you're hit with a smell so vile, so uniquely pungent, it makes you regret every decision you've ever made that led you to that moment. Like allowing your nose to exist in breath. You might think, did 1,000 raccoons have a really bad chilly night in here? You wish it's probably the skunk ape just passing through, reminding everyone within a 5-mile radius that personal hygiene isn't high on its list of priorities. Leaves are not a substitute for toilet paper. Some folks claim they can track the creature just by following the olfactory asshole. It's like a smelly, elusive pile of crap. Perhaps this skunk ape thinks it's a clever defense mechanism, warding off nosy humans who needs mace when you got apocalyptic B. Oh, and frankly, it probably works. Who wants to chase after something that smells like a big pile of crap? But the skunk ape is just one flavor. In the cryptid ice cream shop across the continent, different regions have their own unique names and slight variations for doubts. These as hairy hominids, like the Fouke monster of Arkansas. This creature gained fame after a series of sightings and encounters near Fouke, Arkansas. In the early 1970s, it was the subject of the cult classic film, The Legend of Boggy Creek. While still a large hairy biped, its origin has a distinctly Southern Gothic feel to it. I planned on analyzing the film for this video cause my developer owns a copy but doesn't have a clue where it's at. So here's some random clips I found. Well, that just plain sucks. Anywho, other variants. Moving on, next up we have the wood ape that can be found in Texas and Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma. More recently, researchers in Texas and Oklahoma have adopted the term wood ape to describe this creature and their region, often emphasizing their more ape-like characteristics over purely human-like ones. Maybe they're just more humble, preferring ape over man, kinda sorta like that Tarzan guy. Next up is the abominable snowman, also known as the Yeti. Now, the Yeti is located in the Himalayas, so while not in North America, the Yeti is a prime example of a global parallel. A large ape-like creature in a remote, harsh environment, though. I imagine the Yeti smell might be less swampy and more frozen fish and mountain goat. Coming up next is the indigenous variations. Many Native American tribes have long-standing oral traditions about hairy men, tree giants, or stink apes that predate European colonization. These local names and stories are often deeply interwoven with the specific cultural and natural landscapes of the tribes. So whether it's the towering Sasquatch of the redwood forests, the infamously aromatic skunk ape of the Everglades, or any of the myriad hairy men and wood apes reported across North America, the consistent theme is a large, elusive, bipedal primate inhabiting the wild. It reminds us that while the Bigfoot brand is strong, the wilderness is vast, and perhaps holds many different, incredibly well camouflaged and sometimes profoundly fragrant secrets. And who knows, maybe that weird smell you caught on your last hike wasn't just your neighbor's compost pile. Now, we've explored Bigfoot's wild home, its imposing looks, its strange vocalizations, those colossal footprints, and even its smelly relatives like the skunk ape. But now let's talk about something truly undeniable, something that doesn't require blurry photos or strange smell Bigfoot's cultural significance. Because let's face it, whether you believe Bigfoot exists or not, Bigfoot, it has transcended beyond mere legend to become a bona fide pop cultural icon. Bigfoot is everywhere, and frankly, I think he's got a better publicist than most Hollywood stars these days. From the vast wilderness to the interwebs, Bigfoot's journey from whispered campfire tale to global phenomenon is truly remarkable. Bigfoot has appeared in countless books, movies, TV shows, documentaries, and even commercials. Has become shorthand for a mystery or the unknown, and something that might be lurking in your backyard probably isn't, unless you live in the Pacific Northwest or have really nosy, tall, hairy neighbors. Annie Koo, we've seen Bigfoot as a terrifying monster in horror films, a misunderstood gentle giant in family comedies, and a subject of intense scientific scrutiny or wildly speculative theories in documentaries. Remember that classic episode of The X-Files where Mulder and Scully are chasing the monster of the week, Bigfoot? And let's not forget the sheer number of direct-to-video Bigfoot movies. I'm pretty sure there's one where Hay plays a surprisingly good saxophone. Okay, maybe not, but you wouldn't be that surprised, would you? And then there are the commercials, cause Bigfoot even sells stuff from beef jerky to car tires. If you want to convey ruggedness, mystery, or just plain fun, slap a Bigfoot on it. There are commercials where Bigfoot is casually strolling through a suburban backyard, eyeing a bird feeder. IT makes you wonder if he's that comfortable in suburbia. Why is he still so hard to find in the wilderness? Maybe he just really likes suburban bird feeders, so why are we so utterly captivated by a creature that, for all intents and purposes, remains unproven? I think Bigfoot holds up a mirror to a few things in the human psyche. Let's be honest, humans love a good mystery. Next up, we are diving into the legendary footprints left behind by Bigfoot. The creature might be a master of stealth, a champion at hide and seek, and a tall, hairy ninja, but sometimes Bigfoot leaves us a little calling card, and these calling cards are massive. Size matters. Guys, the Bigfoot legend is quite literally named for these enormous tracks. We're not talking about your average male human size 12. Oh no, witnesses consistently report footprints that are much larger than human footprints, often measuring anywhere from 15 inches to 24 inches long and proportionally wide. Imagine seeing a size 20 boot print in the mud, but without the actual boot. It's enough to make you think, okay, either the local basketball team got lost or someone's got a really, really big problem finding shoes. These aren't just big, they're impressive. The depth of the prints often indicates the immense weight of the creature sinking deep into soft earth or snow. It's like the forest floor just sighed under the pressure. I'm sure you have seen some large human footprints in your time, usually at the beach after someone's had a few too many hot dogs, but these Bigfoot footprints, they look like they belong to a crucially. These prints are almost universally described as barefoot, showing distinct toes and a heel rather than a shoe or boot mark. This is a key detail, distinguishing them from human activity. It also makes you wonder, does Bigfoot just really dislike footwear? Is it a comfort thing, or maybe he just can't find a local big and tall store that carries his size in a sensible hiking sandal? I can picture him now scrolling Amazon for extra wide forest boots. Poor guy can't even get himself some Nike Air Jordans. Total bummer. And Bigfoot's feet are definitely anatomical anomalies because it's not just the size that's unusual. Some Bigfoot footprints show distinctive differences from a typical human foot structure. For example, the mid-tarsal break. This refers to a flexibility in the middle of the foot that allows for a more efficient toe-off in bipedal locomotion, a trait found in apes but often stiffened in human feet. IT suggests a powerful ground-gripping stride, or perhaps Bigfoot just has incredibly flexible ankles, perfect for those quick turns. When avoiding a camera crew, there are also unusual toe configurations. Sometimes the prints show toes that are wider, longer, or spaced differently than human toes. Maybe he's got a unique form of foot yoga going on to keep those digits limber, and then there is the absence of an arch tap. Many footprints show a flatter arch than a typical human foot, indicative of a weight-bearing structure built for stability and heavy loads. These aren't just big smudges in the dirt, they are complex imprints that have been studied by forensic anthropologists and physical trekkers, while no print has ever been definitively linked to a confirmed Bigfoot specimen. The consistent details across countless reports have led some to conclude that if these aren't real, then there's a highly dedicated, very patient prankster out there with some incredibly realistic and giant prosthetic feet, and if that's the case, they deserve an award for dedication. The true allure of the Bigfoot footprint lies in its tangible nature. It's not just a fleeting glimpse or a haunting howl, it's physical evidence, a castable, measurable impression that something truly enormous has walked this way. It's as close some will get to a handshake with the unknown. Wow, so while Bigfoot might be a master of camouflage and silence, occasionally he leaves us a little breadcrumb, a giant bare, oddly toed breadcrumb, and it's these compelling, unusual footprints that keep researchers slogging through the mud and skeptics scratching their heads, forever chasing the elusive giant who apparently forgot his shoes. Bigfoot isn't just a cryptid lurking in the shadows of North American forests. It's a bona fide pop culture icon, from flickering film reels to your living room screen, and even in quirky advertisements. Bigfoot has stomped its way into our collective consciousness, becoming far more than just a blurry photo. Bigfoot's cinematic career kicked off surprisingly early, with appearances in B-movies like the previously mentioned Legend of Boggy Creek, but it wasn't all low-budget scares. The family-friendly film Harry and the Hendersons, see also 1987, truly cemented Bigfoot's place in mainstream cinema. This heartwarming comedy humanized the beast, turning him into a lovable, oversized fur buddy called Harry. The movie even spawned a TV series that ran for 3 seasons, further endearing the Bigfoot legend to family-friendly audiences beyond the big screen. Bigfoot has made countless cameos and leading roles in television, from episodes of sci-fi staples like The X-Files, where Mulder and Scully investigated a Sasquatch sighting, to animated shows like Scooby-Doo, where Bigfoot often turned out to be a grumpy old man in a mask. Even reality TV got in on the action with shows like Finding Bigfoot, where a team of redneck paranormal investigators scoured the wilderness for evidence, turning the search into primetime entertainment. Bigfoot's appeal isn't limited to storytelling, it's also a powerful marketing tool. The instantly recognizable silhouette and mysterious aura make it perfect for grabbing attention. You've likely seen Bigfoot popping up in commercials for everything from jerky to trucks. Companies often leverage the creature's association with the outdoors and ruggedness, implying their product is tough enough for even the wildest adventures. Sometimes Bigfoot is used for comedic effect, like in a recent ad where a group of campers tries to share their snacks with a surprisingly picky Sasquatch. There was even a commercial where Bigfoot was depicted as a master chef, meticulously grilling burgers over an open flame, proving that even a mythical creature can have sophisticated tastes. So why does Bigfoot continue to fascinate us? Part of it is the enduring mystery in an increasingly charted world. The idea of a large, unknown primate roaming our forests is undeniably captivating. It taps into our primal curiosity and our desire for the wild and untamed. For a truly legendary pop culture moment involving Bigfoot, look no further than the iconic 1970s TV series, The $6 Million Man. In a memorable 2-part episode titled The Secret of Bigfoot, Colonel Steve Austin, no, not that Steve Austin, the bionically enhanced astronaut played by Lee Majors, who actually came face to face with the powerful Sasquatch. But here's the best part. The creature was played by none other than Andre the Giant, the legendary professional wrestler. Yes, the 8th wonder of the world himself donned the hairy suit to portray the mythical beast. The 2-part series was a sensation, featuring a thrilling bionic on Bigfoot action, including a classic scene where Steve Austin rips off Bigfoot's arm, revealing it to be an artificial robot limb. This crossover of sci-fi action and pre-wrestling legend remains a beloved, albeit wonderfully absurd, piece of television history, and further cemented Bigfoot's place in the annals of pop culture. Ultimate Ghoster: Bigfoot's elusive nature. We've explored Bigfoot's ancient roots in folklore, his impressive physical stats, and even his unexpected career as a pop culture sensation. But now let's talk about the absolute most frustrating, most baffling, and dare I say, most annoying thing about Bigfoot: his elusive nature. This is the big one, folks. This is why Bigfoot remains a legend and not a confirmed species. despite thousands of alleged sightings, countless expeditions, and enough blurry photos to fill a museum of could be doubt anything. No definitive scientific proof has ever been found. No body, no live specimen. No undeniable DNA evidence that holds up to rigorous scrutiny. It's like Bigfoot is the ultimate professional ghoster, leaving us on read mode for centuries. In other words, he is the ultimate king of hide and go seek. A Bigfoot version of Pokemon. Think about it, in an age where we can track migrating birds from space, map the ocean floor with incredible detail, and carry high-definition cameras in our pockets. How does a creature supposedly 8 feet tall and weighing hundreds of pounds manage to remain so utterly, infuriatingly unseen? Cause he is a master of camouflage. Bigfoot is reportedly covered in dark, shaggy hair that blends perfectly with forest shadows. Has basically wearing a permanent gorilla suit designed by Mother Nature herself. He could probably hide behind a single skinny tree and you just think it was a particularly bushy squirrel. And this fur ninja has seemingly supernatural stealth mode too. Witnesses often report the creature disappearing in mere seconds, moving with incredible speed and silence. Despite its massive size, Bigfoot can literally just vanish. It's like he's a Harry Brundle teleport. Forget Houdini, cause Bigfoot is the real escape artist. I bet he could get out of a locked pantry with a bag of chips in both hands and you'd never even know he was there until the crumbs appeared. Now comes the epic question, where's the body? I mean, seriously, where is it? This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every known large mammal, when it dies, leaves a body. Hunters find them, naturalists find them. Heck, sometimes you just stumble over them on a hike. Well, actually, I hope not on that last one, but Bigfoot, nothing, no bones. No carcasses, not even a stray tooth, so why is he so elusive? The theories on why Bigfoot remained so elusive are almost as numerous as the sightings. For example, a small scattered population. In other words, perhaps their numbers are so small and their territories are so vast that encounters are just incredibly rare. Or it could be nocturnal habits. Maybe they're primarily active at night, avoiding daytime human activity. And then again, they could be highly intelligent and cautious. Many believers suggest Bigfoot is intelligent enough to understand human threats and actively avoids contact. They've probably seen our reality TV shows and decided we're not worth the effort. Or could they be beyond our perception? Some even venture into more speculative territory, suggesting they operate on a different dimension or possess some unknown ability to evade detection. Probably just really good at hiding, though. The elusive nature of Bigfoot is what fuels both the frustration and the enduring fascination. It's the ultimate unsolved mystery that keeps us coming back to the wilderness forever, hoping to catch a glimpse, hear a sound, or find that one definitive piece of evidence. Until then, Bigfoot remains the world's most successfully hairy and incredibly silent hide-and-go-seek champion, and honestly, for a creature so big, that's pretty impressive. Now we've talked about and explored his wilderness home, his imposing physique, his booming voice, those enormous feet, his smelly relatives, his pop culture fame, and his infuriating elusiveness. And that elusiveness brings us perfectly to our final point, Bigfoot as a source of ongoing debate and research. 'Cause he's the thing. Bigfoot isn't going away, not from our conversations, not from our collective imagination, and certainly not from the wilderness, if you ask the believers. The existence of Bigfoot continues to be a subject of intense debate among cryptozoologists, skeptics, and the general public alike. It's the ultimate unsolved mystery that keeps everyone arguing, researching, and occasionally donning a fake gorilla suit in the woods. The true believers versus the skeptics, and a no-holds-barred, never-ending story feud. On one side, you have the dedicated researchers and enthusiasts, who are also known as the cryptozoologists. These are the folks who pore over grainy photos, analyze footprint casts, trek deep into remote areas, often spending their own money and time, all in the hope of finding definitive proof. They are driven by a passion for discovery and the belief that a large, intelligent primate could indeed be hiding in plain sight. They are the eternal optimists, forever searching for that one clear shot, that undeniable piece of hair, that perfect scat sample that will finally blow the lid off the greatest biological mystery of our time. On the other side, you have the skeptics. They demand irrefutable scientific evidence. They point to the lack of a body, the prevalence of hoaxes, and the ease with which misidentification can occur in the 2OT wilderness. They argue that if a large primate population existed, we would have found undeniable proof by now. considering our technology, they're the realists, the ones who say, show me the bones. Or it's just a guy in a hairy gorilla suit. But no matter what the quest continues, the beauty of this ongoing debate is that it keeps the legends alive. It encourages people to explore the wilderness, to look closer at their surroundings, and to question what we think we know. Every new blurry photo, every strange sound, every unidentifiable print reignites the conversation, sends another wave of enthusiasts into the woods with cameras and hopes. It's so as a testament to our enduring fascination with the unknown. We want to believe there are still secrets out there, something wild and untamed that hasn't been put in a zoo or cataloged in a textbook. Bigfoot, whether real or purely mythological, fulfills that fundamental human desire for wonder and discovery. So, the research will continue, the debates will rage on, and somewhere out in the vast, beautiful wilderness that surrounds places Bigfoot, or at least the idea of Bigfoot, will continue to inspire, puzzle, and occasionally make us wonder if that strange branch wasn't just a branch after all. And that, my friends, is a mystery worth keeping alive. And guess what? You have somehow made it all the way to the end of the video. Kudos to you. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button. If you have a question about Bigfoot, leave it in the comments. If you're not subscribed, then maybe think about it. No pressure, anywho. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye.